Hi everyone, um, welcome, and I'll just give it a few minutes until we kick things off, just to give time for some more people to join. But so far, I think there are six of us in total, and a few that I recognize from last week. So thank you for coming to part two, and yeah, nice to see you here again, Duncan and Susan. I think you were here last week as well. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a good session. We're going to learn a lot of the topics, the fundamental topics that we didn't cover last week. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, nice to have you here, Duncan. Um, Looking forward to collaborating in a few weeks as well. So, unfortunately, my co-host hasn't been able to join. So I'll be admitting people into the session if they come a bit late. So please forgive me. I'll be looking around a bit here and there. But we may as well kick off some of the introduction slides. So um, let's just start with, so we're going to set up our online store with WooCommerce, part two. And this is WordPress.org online workshop. And please keep an eye on the meetup link for more of these. They'll be coming out over the next few months quite regularly, I think. Um, so, in the chat, please share where you're joining from and your experience level with WordPress and WooCommerce. And while you're doing that, I'll just introduce myself. So, my name is Shane Klein. I'm from Christchurch, New Zealand. I'm a happiness engineer at Automatic. And previous to that, I was a web developer for over 10 years, mainly making websites in WordPress and using WooCommerce a lot. And please feel free to reach out to me at CLK87 on Slack if you have any questions or need any guidance or want to collaborate on a workshop in the future. I'm open to that for sure. So, yeah, if you don't want to write in the chat, you don't have to. I think a few people did last week, and there was lots of different people that were new to WooCommerce. Some people had clients that were using WooCommerce, and they wanted to learn about it to better support them. So there's lots of different stories out there, and it was really interesting to see. So I shall just move on to another introductory slide that is just informing you that we will record this session and I'll post it to WordPress.tv for anyone that couldn't join us in live today. And yeah, please keep your microphone muted. And if you have questions, we'll do a bit of a Q&A at the end, and I'll do my best to answer them, or I'll get back to you with an answer. So let's kick things off with a recap. So last week, if you weren't able to join us, we covered an introduction to WooCommerce, just explaining what the plugin is and how it can help you and how to install it. Then we configured the default settings. So we looked at everything from currency all the way to account management. We also looked at product creation. So I looked at the different types of products that WooCommerce offers and how to set them up. And if you want to check that out, you can click on this link here. I'll post a link to these slides after the workshop, and you'll be able to watch part one on WordPress.tv to, yeah, go through these topics if you would like. But today we will be covering shipping settings, payment gateways, the WooCommerce pages that come when you install the plugin, orders, and coupons. So between these subjects and the ones last week, we should have a really good overview about how to manage our store. So let's kick off with shipping settings. So shipping settings in WooCommerce help you control how products get from your store to customers. They let you define shipping zones, methods, and costs, ensuring that each order is delivered at the right price. So I want to give you a demonstration. So we will break out of the slides and have a look at my my store that I've created. So in order to access the shipping settings, we just navigate to the dashboard, have a look under WooCommerce settings. And then along the top here, we have our shipping settings. And you can see here that I've set up 2 zones. So it's a very common scenario in New Zealand to have shipping separated between the South Island and the North Island. But before we dig in here, I'd like to show you some of the other setting screens that we have. So we have the shipping settings screen itself, where you can enable some different options if you'd like. So hiding shipping costs until an address is entered, which may be a good option for you to include on your site, or hide shipping rates when free shipping is available, which I think is quite a good idea. It might actually help to prevent some errors if free shipping is offered, but the customer accidentally selects a paid shipping method, then that might just cause a bit of friction. Or sorry, I'm just getting a notification here from Zoom. Okay. So yeah, that might just help prevent some unwanted sort of issues there. Whether you want the default customer shipping destination to be their billing address or shipping address. And mind you, they can choose if they want to add a billing address and a shipping address. So you just have some options here in a debug mode, which is, I think, more for advanced users. So we can also set shipping classes, which my example here is that we have a heavy shipping class, and this can be added on to products that are, heavier items. So we'll look at how this works when we jump back into the shipping zones, but you can name the class, create the slug for it, and a description here, and then back in the shipping zones, we'll actually apply a price to it. And it's worth noting that if you have a physical location, you can also enable a local pickup option. And what I've done here is set up one location, and I've just entered in the address and also when I would like to accept pickups. So I put from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. weekdays, and you can also add another location if you have multiple physical stores. So that's pretty cool. It used to be, I think, a plugin to do this. So WooCommerce is constantly being updated with bug fixes and releases and enhancements to keep enhancing the plugin and making it awesome and secure too. So like I said earlier, it's very common to have shipping zones in New Zealand, which are South Island and North Island. And depending on where the distribution center is for your shop, one usually is more expensive than the other. So if we're based in the South Island and we're shipping to the North Island, the price might be double. So I'll quickly show you what a shipping zone consists of. So if I edit this one, we can name it anything we like, and then we can select the regions that belong to this zone. So for me, these are all the regions of the South Island in New Zealand. Um, and I have selected all of the ones that apply. And what I've done beneath there is actually set up the shipping methods that we allow for these zones and these regions. So I've got a flat rate of $5, and I mentioned that we, have this heavy shipping class. And what that will do is if it's a heavy item, we can add a price on to our base price. So if a product has the heavy shipping class assigned to it, it will add $5 to the base cost of $5 for a total of $10. And we'll look at that shortly. But if that isn't enough, if it's a very heavy object or item, perhaps this might be 15 or 50 or whatever it is. So there's a bit of probably determining your prices before you enter them in here, and probably maybe consulting a courier company or a postal company to get some sort of table rates that you can apply. But for now, we've got, a base cost of $5 and our heavy extra cost of 5. And we can also set up another option within this zone. So I've got free shipping, and I just named it free shipping, and that I've set a rule that in order to have free shipping, the customer has to spend at least $20. So we've got a minimum order amount of $20, and we can also customize this. Say, for example, if you're offering a free shipping coupon, you can go a minimum order amount or a coupon, or a minimum order amount and a coupon. So it's up to you how you want to set this up, and you don't have to offer it either. So it's completely up to you. And my North Island zone is very much the same, just a little bit more expensive. So what I want to show you is that, we'll set up another zone, I think. So in order to set up another zone, we need to add another country. So last week I set up that I was just going to sell to New Zealand, and that would restrict the zones that I actually am able to select on the shipping screen. So what I'll do is pick Australia, and I'll also tell the system that I'm going to ship there. So I'm going to sell there and ship there. I'll quickly save those, go back to our shipping, add a zone. So I'm going to make the whole of Australia a shipping zone, and I'm going to select, all of Australia. So select the different states, and now I can add my shipping method. So we'll do a flat rate of, I think we'll say something like $20 to ship to Australia. And yeah, heavy might be another 20. Let's just put that in for now. And I won't offer a free shipping rate to Australia. So that's really all there is to it. Like, it's quite simple in that respect. Depending on your country, this will look different, and the countries that you sell to. So just set it up the way that works best for you. And what I want to do now is show you the shipping settings in action. So we will visit the store, and I'm going to add, let's actually have a look. Okay, so I've got the Harry Potter box set in my cart already, which is my heavy item. And I'm going to add a non-heavy standard item, such as Dracula. So now we've got 2 books in our cart. I'm going to go to the checkout, and you'll see that our flat rate is $10, which is our base rate of 5 and our heavy shipping class, which is 5 as well. So if I go back to the cart and remove the heavy item, and then go back to the checkout. So now we have $5. So our heavy class has not been applied because, we didn't apply it to our product. And if I updated my address to be, say, in the North Island in Wellington, then our shipping rate has gone up to $7, which was my more expensive rate for that region or that zone. So I wonder if I can quickly, if it will let me pretend that I'm in Australia. I need to put a postcode in, but I don't know what one is. Okay, that worked. Awesome. So that's picked up my Australian shipping rate that I set earlier of $20. So it works quite seamlessly and should allow you to configure the options that you need for your products. And what I'll quickly show you, just to wrap this all up, is how we actually apply the heavy shipping class to a product. So within the product editing screen, we can come into the shipping option, and then our shipping class is heavy or no shipping class to use our default rates that we've set up. So yeah, it's that simple as well. So it takes a little bit of sort of mental mapping to figure out exactly how you want this to work. But once you get there, you can actually make it quite powerful. And it's also worth noting that this is just a default setup. So we can also add shipping plugins or extensions to our website and get a much more like comprehensive set of rules. We can do table rate shipping. We can do shipping based on weight and volume. So you can enter in the dimensions of a product and the weight, and then it might talk to a third-party system such as a courier and actually feed in live rates and have them update as the courier's rates may change, and apply them to your product. So it can get quite comprehensive depending on what you're selling and how far you want to take it. So yeah, so hopefully that was a good overview of the shipping settings. And we can move on to payment gateways, which kind of go hand in hand with shipping. So payment gateways in WooCommerce are the systems that handle all the transactions when a customer makes a purchase. They securely process payments, and they can also be processed by credit cards, PayPal, or bank transfers, check payments. And the payment gateway provider will then let you receive the funds to your bank account. So let's have a look at some payment gateway options that we have. So I have installed and configured PayPal, but that is just one of many options that we have. So what I wanted to show you was when you come into the payment setting, you can see that there are many different payment gateway providers, a few suggested within the software itself here. But what I recommend is clicking this More Payment Options link and then having a look at the ones that are offered to your country. Because I'm sure, depending on where you're from, you might have more popular payment gateways than others, or completely standalone payment gateways offered to that country only. So you can come in here and have a look and see what you might want to accept. So for me in New Zealand, Stripe is, I personally have used Stripe a lot and I think it's really good. So I would probably use that for credit card payments on my site. Same with WooPayments. PayPal is just a great kind of, it's a very popular option that's out there. Um, Coinbase, if you want to accept crypto payments. Klarna and Afterpay are, those buy now, pay later kind of offerings. So you can have more than one. You can have as many as you like. I would probably recommend picking a few and at least say like a major one such as Stripe, which can accept all sorts of different credit cards, and then having a backup such as PayPal, which can be people can make payments through their PayPal account or their credit card, so that if, you know, it doesn't happen often, but if one service goes down, you've got a replacement there or an alternative for your customers to check out, and there, yeah, won't be any barriers to them checking out. So yeah, I recommend having a look and finding ones that work for you. And the process for each is pretty similar. So for a start, you'd want to sign up to, say, Afterpay or to Stripe and actually get a Stripe account or a PayPal account or Afterpay. And then they often will have a plugin. So you want to install the plugin. And then at that point, the plugin will show in this list, such as PayPal here. So quickly go back to the plugins and show you that I installed the WooCommerce PayPal payments plugin as part of setting up this demonstration shop for us. And so that allowed us to see this PayPal option and then manage the settings. And I would also recommend consulting their documentation just so that you understand each option. But within it, you can, uh, choose to accept credit cards, choose to accept payments via PayPal accounts. And I haven't enabled the pay later option because for me, I would probably use Afterpay because that's so popular here in New Zealand. So moving on to our settings, it was like connecting the website to the PayPal account was really as simple as entering in my email address. And usually during the plugin installation, there'll be a setup guide, and that will often bring you to a screen where you can log into that payment provider and connect up the account to the website. So that's typically the process. You can also, like, depending on the payment gateway provider, potentially change some styles and where things are displayed within the cart, for example. And yeah, so this just depends on um, the options that they give you. But at the very minimum, what tends to happen is you will go to your checkout page and scroll to the bottom, and the options will appear here. So at the moment, PayPal is configured to be the first option that is selected by default. But I've also set up this direct bank transfer option. So if they click it, there's instructions about how to do that. But if you also had Stripe or Afterpay or something, they would be listed here one beneath each other. And you can configure which one appears at the top by dragging them into place, like so. So if you wanted PayPal to be at the top, you just simply drag it all the way up to the top. But in this case, I actually haven't set up these two above, so PayPal is still the first one that's shown. And we also have these options, like I mentioned, a direct bank transfer option, which I configured here just with the title, description, instructions, and then also added my fake account for this demonstration site, but you would, include your correct bank account number, and then they could make the payment manually via their internet banking app, and then you can match the funds or see the funds come in, match it to the customer, and then process the order from there. So, yeah, that's generally how it goes with payment gateways. I just highly recommend checking out their documentation and also their plugin documentation to get set up. But that's typically how it goes. So let's have a look. Oh, yeah, actually, sorry, there's one more thing to consider when when trying to choose a payment gateway provider to go with, and that is the capabilities of their payment gateway. So, for example, if you are going to sell subscription products on your site, you might want to check that that payment gateway that you want to go with accepts payments, accepts subscription payments. So that will be a recurring payment. And quite often the customer's credit card details will be stored on their servers, not on the website. And then that will allow these recurring payments to take place seamlessly. So you just want to make sure that the payment gateway provider can actually accommodate those subscriptions or whatever it is that you want um, to use. And what will often happen is they'll list like the payment gateways that are compatible. So if we go to, say, subscriptions, WooCommerce subscriptions, and then look at the documentation, and then payment gateways, subscription payment gateway guide. Yeah, so here's all the payment gateways that are compatible with the subscription plugin. So there's a lot here, but when the first website I made that accepted subscriptions, there was only, I think, one or two. So PayPal Braintree for WooCommerce was one of the only ones that was available in New Zealand. So it was, yeah, it wasn't as extensive as it is now, but that was a consideration I had to account for at the time and work with my client to actually sign up to Braintree and get, things happening that way. So just another thing to keep in mind. So next, we can have a look at the pages that come with WooCommerce. So when you install the plugin, it automatically creates key pages for you, such as the shop, the cart, the checkout, and the My Account pages. And these pages serve as the critical function for your online website. They'll help guide customers through browsing products and adding them to their cart, completing their purchases, and then also managing their account if they choose to create one. So let's have a look at some pages that come with the software. So for me, I've got my front page, but I've then got the cart page, the checkout, my account, the shop, and I also got a refund and returns policy page, which is in draft mode, but that's certainly something that you might want to publish and include in your menus. But let's start with having a look at the cart page. So before we had a quick look at we had a flyout cart on the side here, and that will depend on the theme that you're using. And if it doesn't have that flyout cart option from the side, it will certainly have this page, which is the sort of standard cart page. And as you can see, it displays information about the products that you've added to the cart, and estimated total, and a button to proceed to pay. You can also adjust the quantity of items here or remove them altogether. It's also worth noting that you can edit this page directly, and some of the blocks and things on the page can be edited and some can't. So we could change this to say like my cart or something like that, but we won't be able to edit like
That
these.
ass, bro. I'm not even gonna continue, gang. Stop right now, text him man, say, hey, bro, I love you, gang. Say it right now. I'm not playing, nigga. Text him mans right now.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure if everyone heard that, but we had a person come off mute and interrupt. So we'll just carry on. Um, yeah, so what I was trying to get at was that you can edit this cart page, and some things are editable and some things aren't. But I won't go too far into that subject today. But I just wanted to let you know that certain things within this page can be edited, and those that can won't have the padlock next to it here, and those that can't will have the padlock. So you can dive deeper into these and yeah, customize it to the extent that you're able to. So let's have a look at the checkout page quickly. We briefly looked at it earlier, but our PayPal payment gateway plugin puts the buttons at the top here, gives you the option to pay with the PayPal account or a credit card, and then we put in our customer details. So we can choose whether we want to have the item shipped, or because I've enabled a local pickup option, they can select that as well. And then that will give them information about where it is and when they can come pick up the items. They can also enter in their address, where they'd like it to be shipped to. And if they would like to, they can separate the billing address and shipping address if it's different. Otherwise, just use the same for both. Select their shipping option and their payment option. And then they can also add a note to the order. So if it was something like, for the courier, beware of the dog, or um, please don't leave it out on the street front if packages get stolen, or, anything really. Um, they can have a look at the terms and conditions page before proceeding to pay. And on the right, they get an order summary of how it all is going to work, and an option to enter a coupon if you've set those up for your website. So let's have a look at the My Account page. So if a customer decides to create an account on your website, they'll see this dashboard homepage when they first log in. And from there, they can view their recent orders, manage their shipping and billing address if that changes, change their password and their account details. So I've placed a few test orders, and I can see details of each one. And I can also see the status, which is processing, um, pending payment completed, etc. And for downloadable products, I can come back and download the product again if you've enabled those options. In this case, I have. So if they misplaced the download or deleted it by accident or something like that, they can come back and re-download it, and updating their address if they move. Payment methods. So at the moment, we don't have any stored, but this is what I was sort of talking about with subscriptions. If you offered subscription products, they could come here and edit their credit card if it expired, or they wanted to change to a different one. They could do that here without sort of interrupting the order or the subscription itself. And account details, just passwords, email address, display name, and things like that. Also a logout option if they want to do so. So brings us, we'll have a quick look at the returns page that come with WooCommerce. So it's saying this is a sample page. So it would definitely be a good idea to read through this and alter it to be, applying to your business or your store. I think it's got like a option here of, yeah, a policy of 30 days that may or may not work for you, and you may not want this page at all, but it comes as a suggestion. And the shop page. So I've got my products laid out in a 4-column grid. And these, again, like the cart page and the checkout page, it can be edited, and certain things can be edited and certain things can't. And I added these review stars in because that wasn't there by default with this particular theme. So you could change fonts, colors, the image sizing, how many products show in a column. So you have some pretty good options to customize it to suit the way that you want your shop to look. So yeah, those are the pages that come as default with a WooCommerce installation. And we can take a look next at orders. So an order represents a customer's purchase from your online store, keeps track of important details like the products that were purchased, the quantities, the prices, the shipping information, the order and payment statuses. And orders are an essential part of your store, helping you keep track of sales and ensure customers receive the right products. And you may have noticed in my account page that we just had a look at, I had some orders. So we can see how they look from the front end, and we can also see how they look from the back end. So I have 4 orders, and this is what a customer will see. And in our orders page under WooCommerce orders, we can see each of them listed here as well. And each one is slightly different, so I'll go through, starting at the top. So when we come into the order screen, we have details about the order, when it was created, what status it's currently in, who the customer is, their address, shipping address, what they purchased here, how much it was. And then if it's a downloadable product, you'll have some extra options here. You also have order notes. So basically a series of events that took place with this order. So the Fellowship of the Ring was added, the stock was reduced for that particular product, the status of the order changed from pending payment to processing upon receiving the funds. You get a quick overview of this customer. So they've ordered 3 things. This is the total they've spent and the average order value. And we also have a few options. So the idea is when an order is placed and paid for, it will be processing, which tells the customer that the shop that you've purchased from is now processing your order. And then once we receive the order, we look at it, we organize shipping, and let's say that a courier came and picked up this product and it's now with them and they're going to deliver it. We can change this to completed and update it, which will then trigger an email to the customer saying that your order is now completed. And you can also add in a note to them, such as like a tracking ID, so they can track the delivery. And we have an option here. You can either leave a private note for you or your staff within the order, or switch it to note to customer. And then if you click, so let's just say that's your tracking ID, click add, then that will add it to our order notes timeline here, and also email that customer the note that you've included here. So that's very handy, and actually this exact thing happened to me with something I ordered last night. I got a separate email saying that the order's been complete, and another one saying, here's your tracking ID, or your tracking URL to yeah, track the shipping. So it was quite a good system. And you can also have there's some options here to send the order details to the customer or resend them a notification, regenerate download permissions. If something goes wrong with either of those things, you have the option uh, to do those actions here. So that's just a pretty simple, quite a typical order. It's a physical product, and we can see that it's been paid for, where it needs to go, etc. And I wanted to show you that sometimes you might get an order that has a payment pending status or pending payment rather. And what I did to create this was I closed the tab window, like the I closed the tab as it was processing the payment. And I wanted to show you that this type of thing will just happen from time to time if you're running an online store. And it could be things like a payment failed or a pending payment, and that might be due to an expired credit card or some situation where perhaps the internet cut out when they were actually halfway through paying for the products. Like there's all sorts of things that can happen. And if that does happen, you can come in here and have a look at the situation. So the payment hasn't gone through. I can see what they were trying to buy. This one has our shipping of $10. So we can see that in the order notes, our history has gone from draft to pending payment. And what happens in a situation like this is a special link is created that you can send to the customer, and they can go and pay for their items again. Uh, so we could send them this link and say, hey, I noticed that there was a payment didn't go through. If you'd like to continue with the purchase, please visit this link and complete the payment. And as soon as we get it, we'll process it. So we could take the link here, go back into our order, switch it to a note to the customer, and just write that out really. Hi there. Your payment hasn't gone through. Here's the link. Please fulfill the payment and we'll process your order. And then add that. That will then be sent to them and we'll just sort of sit. The order can just sit in its current state until you either receive the money or perhaps you won't. Perhaps they've decided they won't go ahead. But it's a nice way that we can communicate with that customer or within the order screen. So that's another scenario we've already looked at. So a completed order, the difference is simply the status is updated, but this is for a downloadable product. So you can see that there's actually details in this downloadable product permissions box here. So this is the PDF or the downloadable product that they ordered, and you can see how many times they've downloaded it. And for whatever reason, you can revoke access to it if you need to. You can see that a coupon was used for this particular order. And yeah, so there's a few more details depending on how they pay, what they pay with, what product they buy. So you can just, yeah, come into the order and get a good overview of what's going on. So that's pretty much, there definitely can be and will be more to it sometimes, but for the majority, it'll generally be processing and completed. You can also filter by, I think you can filter by statuses, yeah. So, or you can bulk update statuses. So there are definitely, you can look at orders that were uh, submitted per month, which sales channel they came through. So there's some more options here too. But we shall move on to coupons. So Coupons come as default as part of WooCommerce, but you can choose to disable or enable them if you want to use them or not. And the core offerings are fixed cart, fixed product, and percentage-based discounts. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. You can create really complex rules depending on, you can add a plugin to add really complex coupon rules. But let's have a look at coupon creation. So coupons live under marketing, so marketing coupons, and you will see a list of all the coupons that you've created here, some suggested extensions that you might want to look at, such as like smart coupons is the one that was in my mind when I was saying that this is a plugin that offers a lot of functionality. So there's some options for you to have a look at if you want to, and also some knowledge articles down the bottom here, which I think are just really cool that can help you just get good ideas how you might want to enhance the offering of your site or your store. Um, so yeah, I recommend having a look at these subjects if you want to increase your knowledge. So I've created a coupon here which is called free book. And so this is the coupon code that will actually be used in the checkout to receive this discount. And this is my description. So I am saying that this will give you 100% discount on any product. And so let's have a look at the options that we are given. So this is a percentage discount coupon, but we can change that to a fixed cart discount or a fixed product discount if we like, and what that discount would be. So 100%, or if it was a fixed cart discount, it might be $10. Do we want to allow free shipping if this coupon is being used, or we could potentially set up a free shipping coupon itself? We can set an expiry date if we want to do that, or just not set an expiry date if you just want this to live on the site permanently. You can also put these rules on it. So does the customer need to spend a minimum amount or a maximum amount? Can this coupon be used with other coupons or just by itself? Will it exclude sale items because they're already discounted? You can choose to make this coupon apply to a product only or a series of products, and you just select those products here, or all the products in your site except for these products, or this coupon will apply to a particular category. So, brands, etc. There's definitely a lot of options that you can fine tune how these coupons work and what they apply to, or allowed emails. So potentially this coupon will only apply to certain customer emails. And then limits. So perhaps this coupon can only be used once per, that's once per user, or the coupon itself can only be used 10 times. So you might, send out an email to all of your customers saying the first 10 people get 50% off. And then as it's used, reaches that 10th one, then it's cut off. So some cool automation here. And with the addition of a plugin such as smart coupons, you can also set up like a time. So if it was, say, like Easter weekend sale, you could set a coupon to apply for those days over that weekend. And then you kind of just don't have to worry about it. You can, if you're going on holiday that weekend, go and do that without having to keep an eye on your store. So these extensions offer some convenience and extra functionality that you may not find with the default setup, but you still get a lot with the default setup. It just depends on the way that you want to run your site or store. So with that, we will check out some key takeaways for WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is the largest and most popular e-commerce platform built specifically for WordPress. It has flexible product options such as simple products, variable, grouped, downloadable products to suit your business. We can manage orders and customers, track their orders, manage their inventory, ensure that they receive the right products efficiently. We can offer multiple payment gateways and shipping methods. We can extend it via plugins to add functionality such as subscriptions or memberships, bookings. Um, so when you develop a site using WooCommerce, you're not alone. There's a huge community out there that will help. You want to post on support forums, join courses like this, or look at tutorials. There are plenty of people to help you. Yeah, you get a beginner-friendly setup when you install WooCommerce. You get all the pages that you need, and they're created for you automatically with the installation of the plugin. And WooCommerce can scale. This is probably one of the most important aspects of it, is that it can really go from, say, 10 products to 10,000. It can have hundreds of thousands of orders. It can really handle a lot. And what we've looked at over this session and last is just the real basics. Um, and I wanted to give you an idea about what you can do to enhance your shop. So we've looked at the default stuff, but subscriptions, depending on your business, are very popular and can be automated through the website. We can offer memberships to give discounts to products or be part of a group. And within that membership, you might get access to, say, special pages or special pages that contain special coupons. So there's a lot of things you can do within a membership site. Product waitlists and notifications are a great one. So you can, if a product is out of stock and someone visits that product page, you could allow them to input their email address and receive an email when you update the stock to, allow it to be purchased again. So that's a really cool one. Gift cards, you might want to enable the purchase of a gift card for your site as well. And people can buy a gift card, give it to someone for Christmas, that type of thing. Or dynamic pricing and discounts. So buy two, get one free. Yeah, limited time offers. Or yeah, like if you buy this product and that product, you can get 20% off. Or there's so many different combinations you could think of, but that will, you need a smarter coupon plugin. Bookings and appointments. So if you're appointment-based hairdressers or something like that, people will be able to book that through your site with the plug-in. And yeah, there's something that we didn't touch on, which is analytics and reporting. So each sale is tracked. You can look at the data, which is your most popular products, who's spending the most. So we're almost at Christmas. If you have a customer that's particularly loyal, you'll be able to go in and see that, oh, this person spent X amount of dollars this year. Let's send them a thank you. Let's send them a gift card or a special coupon just for them. So we can really take this to some really cool places if you want. I also want to mention that the official documentation is a really great place. It's got a lot of knowledge about everything that we've covered and more. You can also look up learn.wordpress.org for educational resources about lots of different topics, lots of different WordPress topics. And with that, I'll open it up to questions. So please feel free to come off mute or write in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. And if I can't, I'll post on the Meetup link for this workshop and update you there. Or after the fact, you can reach out to me on Slack at CLK87 or look me up on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that has a name spelt like mine, so I'm probably not too hard to find. So feel free to connect with me there, and I will do my best to help.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Duncan.
Sean. A really nice speech. Actually, I just got some question about like really in the real life. Because some of my customer actually they got the inventory software, and then is
Yeah,
there any way that the WooCommerce is integrated with the other third-party inventory software? Because like it's not only sell online, they mostly sometimes they sell it locally.
yeah.
And then what I found that this is a big trouble for quite a lot of customers actually have this some sort of issue.
That's right. Yeah. So stock levels can get out of sync with what's in the warehouse because you're selling at a physical location and the website. So you can get like a third party service that will track the inventory and connect to the website and say like an in-store sales system. So one I've used in the past, I've set up one called Trade Gecko. And this was a while ago. This was for a similar situation where they had an online store and they had like physical, like separate websites selling for New Zealand and one for the UK, but they were using the same distribution warehouse. So stock levels were being reduced from both websites, and they needed that central point of truth, basically, because when you manage stock via the website, it will only manage it for that site. So that would be something that would be worth looking up in the WooCommerce extensions site and having a look at inventory management or perhaps just
So,
Googling that.
so do you guys
'Cause-
offer any API to connect with the other app so that's in the future? I mean, like, because right now I still haven't found any solution for
Okay.
this situation.
Yeah, the one that I've used had its own plugin and it connected to the site that way. And you did have to enter in an API key to connect it to your site and to your store. So yeah, it can be tricky. Like, I won't lie, it is a tricky subject. And you may, like, yeah, if you can't find anything off the shelf, you might you be able to consult like a custom plugin developer or something like that. But yeah, I would Google inventory management plugin for WooCommerce or service for WooCommerce or something like that, and just see what's out there and see if there's something that will yeah, match your needs. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'll reach out to you later, Duncan, and try and help further with that because it certainly can be tricky. Yeah. It's the same with shipping. Like we set up a flat rate and that heavy shipping cost, but it can get really complex, especially if you're selling heavy items. Like I set up a website for a company that sell like park benches and furniture and rubbish bins and all sorts of things like this. And the shipping rates changed a lot because the freight company would change their rates a lot. And because it was heavy, we're dealing with quite large amounts of money for shipping alone. So $200-300 to ship some of these heavy items. And yeah, we ended up integrating it with a New Zealand-based courier, and the shipping rates would update live on the website. So it just saved a lot of time. Um, yeah, so it can get complex. But yeah, if there's no more questions, I will wrap today's workshop up and just thank every one of you for being here. I hope you learned something. If you need to catch part one, it is posted on WordPress.tv. And this will also be posted probably, I'll try and get it before the end of the week, but most likely early next week. And I'll post a link in the meetup group. And yeah, please feel free to reach out. Like I'd love to connect further with you, and don't be shy. I plan on hosting another workshop in the new year, and I'd love to see you there as well. So we're going to cover all sorts of different WordPress related topics. So thank you all, and hope to see you again shortly. Okay. Thanks, everyone.